I'm Claire, a member of the Rainbow Brigade. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Resh.
I'm Cheyenne, and today we're going to talk about Pride. So, for those of you who don't know anything about Pride, we're going to do like a quick little history of it. Pride is now a celebration of LGBTQ people, and a chance for them to be visible and just celebrate their lives and how far we've come and pay homage to how far we have yet to go. This year marked the 50th Pride, 50th anniversary, and Pride started in New York, actually. There was a small little bar called the Stonewall Inn, and it was a hangout for queer people. And in those days, it was still illegal to be queer, like openly, visibly queer, you know. If you didn't have, like, I think 3 articles of, like, your gendered clothing, like, if your birthmark said male, then you had to have 3 pieces of male clothing on at least, or else you'd get arrested, you know. There'd be police raids at bars that were known to be hangouts of LGBT people, and that's what happened that night at the Stonewall Inn. There was a police raid, and the police, of course, were yanking people out, beating them and stuff, and someone, no one really knows who, there's a few different iterations of this tale, but somebody ended up throwing a brick, throwing a few punches at the police, and this turned into like a week-long riot. And since then, every year, Pride has been celebrated to honor that first time LGBTQ people fought back, basically, and said, no, this is who I am. You're not gonna arrest me. You're not gonna beat me down for being who I am. And it started off, of course, just in New York, and then slowly spread to the rest of the country and now the rest of the world.
Promise you, no matter how homophobic a country is, there's gay people.
In Russia. Yeah. So,
Russia even had a Russian Pride. I mean, sure, it was broken up by the cops and the government, but they had a Pride.
June is Pride Month now, and everywhere you go, you'll find some kind of Pride activity, and it's really cool. And today we're going to talk about our experiences at Pride. I feel like this has to be said, that Pride, it started from Stonewall, but Stonewall was started by people of color. Mm-hmm. Marsha P. Johnson, Miss Major, and a few others that are still...
Sylvia Rivera?
Yes, thank you. I completely forgot her name. They are women of color, but they were trans people of color. They were non-cis people of color, and I feel like that has to be recognized. That Pride was a riot of people of color protesting police brutality. And I feel like that's been erased a little bit by the commodification of Pride.
How do you guys feel about the fact that there's like so many consumers at Pride?
Oh boy, okay.
Like,
so emotionally, I went there and I was like, there's so many corporations at Pride. I was not expecting this. I was expecting Pride to be like a lot more personal. I was expecting it to be a lot more person-based, but I saw so many like companies and I was just like, yo, is this like the norm now?
Yes.
And like logically, I understand that we do need the support of corporations because they gave us the money to make Pride bigger and more accessible. But emotionally, the entire time I was just like, yo, SunTrust Bank does not support me as a queer person, and I'm not giving SunTrust Bank my money.
Right, like you'll see AT&T, T-Mobile, and like, okay, so like I have 2 problems with Pride, like modern Pride, is the fact that there's like so much like just non-Pride merch, because you'll have like certain vendors that you can clearly see that they're like mom and pop shops selling like the fans, you know, that make the loud noises, or they're selling like little pins that are gay, or just like a lot of queer stuff, which is amazing. But then you'll see vendors, yeah, SunTrust Bank, AT&T trying to tell me how proud they are of me.
But it's like, Pride shouldn't be about the corporations. Again, it should be about the people. It should be about the community coming out to support itself, to express themselves. And it's just annoying that you can't walk down the road that Pride is on without getting like a bunch of stuff thrown in your face.
The funniest thing though is that I noticed it was like, for some reason, all the corporations were on one side and most of them were together. They were like broken up by like a couple of booths, but most of the corporations were on one side. And then when we crossed, so we started on the corporation side, but then when we crossed over, that was like, I was just like, wait, where are the corporations? And that was funny. So at Wilton Manors Pride, there was corporation segregation, if you will.
And I support that wholeheartedly.
We support corporation segregation. Like, let the corporations support us, but like separate but equal. Good Lord.
Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. So I feel like we should take back a little, like, of the... ¿Cómo se...? I don't really know how to say this.
We should take back the origins of Pride.
Yeah, because
and the community centered aspect of Pride.
Yeah. Thank you. Because if people from older generations can have Pride without like 10 zillion companies supporting it, I'm sure like we can have Pride too without the monetary funds, you know? Like I'm sure we can come up with funds our own.
And another reminder that the first Pride was a riot.
Was it though?
It really
they were throwing bricks and rocks at cops.
But like my thing with calling like Stonewall a riot is that like technically it wasn't.
A riot's a riot, my guy.
Okay, so for me a riot looks like a group of people like attacking an institution or something that they believe against unfairly. That's the thing.
I feel like riot has been twisted by society because like people... Okay, I feel like a riot really is just a group of people revolting in some way or like acting out in some way. A riot can be as simple as like when they threw that tea into the harbor. That's a riot in a way to me.
Okay. I've used riot on like a way smaller level. Like somebody will tell me to do something, I'm like, I'm rioting against your decision of me having to do this thing. For me, the definition of a riot is something, it is a smaller group, like committing actions against a larger group that is generally unjust against them.
Okay, so a violent disturbance of the peace by a crowd. See, that's why I don't like it, because it says a violent disturbance
Violence
of
isn't necessarily
the peace.
bad, in my opinion.
But the thing is, like, they weren't being violent first, the members of the Stonewall Inn. It was the police members.
Totally get involved with the local GSA community, because like no matter where you are, I promise you, if you have a car and you're able to, within 20 miles of you, there should be like a gay community or like a center for LGBT youth and people, and usually they're really amazing. So I'm lucky I live somewhere nice in South Florida, and the nearest LGBT center is like maybe 5 miles out. Yeah. So yeah, if I'm inclined to, I can take the bus to it or I can drive to it, and it's really nice. And if you just want to be somewhere safe and they don't ask for like absolutely personal information that can track you down, so if you just want to go somewhere to be anonymous and safe, your local LGBT center is where it's at.
And if you live in a big city, like you are able to find a big city, find the LGBT areas and just hang out, because like not even just like places like Compass is like one that's closer to me, and I think it's like nationwide, but places like the Milk Bar, different places where you can just hang out and be queer and just be. I feel like that's really, really important, is to have a place to just exist and have fun and not really have any expectations on you.
And also, while I think having fun is very important, I also think that we as LGBT people should be safe no matter what. And I know that certain people don't have access to that, because like, so what I recommend is I would recommend free clinics near you, or the AHF, like, I forget what
American Health Foundation?
Yeah, the American Health Foundation, and also I think there's like AIDS Unified or something.
Also, Planned Parenthood, like, that's nationwide. Most places have Planned Parenthood. They can help you out with everything from STD testing to, you know, healthcare, general healthcare. And a lot of times, most places, they also help, like, transitioning and stuff like that. They help with, like, teaching you about, like, how to have sex as a queer person. They do a lot of cool stuff like that.
Straight people, your token allyship, do better.
Yeah.
Be a better straight.
As an ally, you should actively try to make things better for your non-straight friends. If you're gonna be around homophobic people, you should be actively, or if you can, you know, if you can safely tell them off for being homophobic, you should, you know? Don't let stuff like that slide, because then that person who's homophobic around you, and you don't tell them off, they will go around and start being homophobic other places and make life more unsafe for other queer people.
If you as a straight person can educate a homophobe, you should. Straight people can, should, and will educate homophobes, because we as queer people, we, well, I assume and I hope that we take the time to educate ourselves on our history, but we can't always go around teaching every homophobe we meet, because we don't get paid for that.
Hi, we're the Rainbow Brigade. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed what you just saw.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share our videos.
And don't forget to comment below. You know, we want to hear what your experiences, what you've dealt with Pride, what you think about it.
The Rainbow Brigade is also on other social media platforms. Our links will be in the description box down below, and we would be very happy to interact with you in other spaces.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.